In this video, you will learn how to use a photoresistor. Now, in case you don't know what a photoresistor is, it's a sensor that measures the intensity of light. The logic we'll be working with here is that when there's enough light hitting the photoresistor, we want the LED to be off. And then when there's a low amount of light hitting the photoresistor, we want to turn on the LED. Now, make sure that you have this circuit set up already to follow along. You can find the circuit diagram linked in the description below. So let's get started. So we'll start by creating variables for the sensor and the LED. First, for the sensor, we connected this to pin A0 on the Uno board. So we're going to assign a value of A0 to it, followed by another variable that we'll use to store the value of the sensor. So we'll call this sensor reading. Lastly, we can create a variable for the LED. So I'll call this green LED, assign a value of 7 to it, since we connected this to pin 7. And then we can set up serial function. So serial.begin. Use a baud rate of 9600. With this done, we can now write the logic for reading the value of the sensor. So we already created a sensor reading variable. Right now, we are going to use the analog read function to read the value of the sensor and then store it in the sensor reading variable. So analog read, and then we'll use a parameter of sensor and then store it in this variable. So for this line of code, we're using analog read to read the value of the sensor connected to pin A0, and then whatever value we get there, we store it in the sensor reading. I'm going to go ahead and print out this value. So serial.println. Then I'm going to pass in sensor reading as the parameter. So at this point, you can upload the code to your board so we can see if you can actually get these values coming from the sensor reading. I'm going to upload this. Now in the serial monitor, we can see that the sensor is actually returning a set of values. I'm going to add some delay to this so that we can slow it down and actually see what is going on. So I'm going to add a delay of 2 seconds and then upload the code again. So at this point, the photoresistor is not getting any form of light on it. So I'm going to use a flashlight and see what happens with these values. Now you can see that the value is gradually increasing. So it means that our setup is working and the code is working fine. We're able to get the value of the sensor reading using the analog read function. Next, we are going to use an if statement to determine when the LED comes on based on the value of the photoresistor. So I'm going to get rid of this delay and then create an if statement. So we're going to say if sensor reading is less than 300. At this point, we want to turn on the LED, so we can use digital write. Of course, green LED. I'll turn this to high. Else, you can just turn it off. So again, we'll use digital write. Green LED. So to explain this block of code, when the value of the sensor reading is less than 300, we want to turn on the LED. And then when it's above 300, we want to turn it off. So basically, when you have a low amount of light hitting the photoresistor, you want the LED to be on. And then when that light is of a higher intensity, you want to turn off the LED. So now let's see if this actually works. Thank you for watching. You can find the full project code and the circuit diagram linked in the description below. Thank you for your time and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe.